The U.S. Army is strengthening its regulations when it comes to tattoos, specifically where they are on the body. Joining me now with the details is U.S. Army Major Tyler Stewart. Welcome to Gateway to Phoenix.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to be here.
So this is a very interesting topic you're here to talk about today on Gateway to Phoenix. Some changes in the regulations on tattoos.
Yes.
So first of all, tell us why you're here to talk about this issue.
Well, as the Executive Officer of the Recruiting Battalion, I oversee the operations of all the recruiters that operate within Arizona. We also have recruiters in New Mexico and El Paso, Texas area. But I actually oversee the operations, and I ensure that all the recruiters receive their updated operating guidance. So therefore, I am the conduit for the update to go out to the recruiters.
And even though you cover a large area, your office is right here in downtown Phoenix,
Correct.
Right?
We're actually on 1 North 1st Street, and we have a number of recruiting centers throughout the greater Phoenix area. We actually operate 3 companies worth of recruiters because of the dispersion as well as the density of populations here within Phoenix.
Okay. So tell us, what is the new regulation on tattoos?
Well, actually it's a update or modification of Army Regulation 670-1, and it went into effect the end of March of this year. And what it specifically has changed is the number of tattoos you're allowed to have below the elbow or below the knee. Those areas are visible when you're wearing your physical training uniform, and therefore they're a direct reflection of the public's view of the military. You're not allowed to have more than 4 tattoos in either of those areas, and there is a size restriction for those tattoos. Specifically, you have to be able to cover up the tattoo with your own hand. So the larger tattoos that number of service or potential service members within the community choose to have on their calves or on their forearms or other parts below the wrist or elbow may be disqualifying them for the opportunity of joining the Army.
Now, so the change in the regulation occurred earlier this year. Have you seen any change at all in recruiting, the level of recruits, et cetera, or is it too early to tell at this point?
It's still a little early, but we are seeing a general trend. On average, we're having 12 applicants come into the centers that we're turning away every week, and that's 12 potential service members from the local community that have become disqualified due to their tattoos.
And that's just based on that issue alone, not any others?
Correct. There might be other issues that they would be disqualified for, but once the recruiter identifies that they have a disqualifying tattoo, the process is stopped.
And I assume this regulation is exactly the same whether it's male or female?
Correct.
Okay. And if someone were to come in and you observed that they were in violation of this regulation, if they went and got it removed, or I guess reduced, the size reduced, could they then enlist? Or?
Well, there's no guarantee. Again, even with the new technology to remove a tattoo, there may be residuals or an outline, some silhouette that would qualify as branding, which is still one of the issues addressed under the regulation. If you're aspiring to join the military, your best bet is to either restrict your tattoos to areas covered by a short sleeve t-shirt and shorts, or just wait and have it checked.
And then how about, I know you haven't specifically mentioned this, but what about anything on the face or the neck? How's that handled?
That's not a modification, but anything that's visible above the collar, on the head, the neck, the face, anything like that is a disqualifier.
Just one?
Anyone. And below the wrist, for example, on your hands, disqualification. And again, it gets back to the professional military appearance of the service member.
Sure.
And it's a reflection of their discipline as well as their attention to detail going forward and being able to execute their duties.
And these tattoo regulations in general, is that something that's been around for many years?
Like any other organization, there's been a number of changes. We average probably every decade at least 2 or 3 different changes. For example, my dress uniform today is not the dress uniform that I was issued when I joined in '96. This is one more change. We have a number of changes that occur over time, and they are reflecting the military appearance as well as societal changes as we go forward.
Anything else you'd like to mention as it relates to this? Again, I think it's a very interesting topic.
Our intent is to try and raise awareness, not just within the target population, which is those who are of an age to choose to join the Army, but also for all of their parents and other community members, teachers, council members such as yourself, so that everyone in the community understands that the restrictions for joining the military and all of the opportunities that apply are increasing, and we just want everyone to be aware of what the restrictions are so they can make an informed decision of whether or not to get a tattoo or not get a tattoo.
Now, for our viewers who may be interested in enlisting, or maybe they have children that would be interested in enlisting, what's the best way to go about learning more and, you know, actually going through that process?
Well, there's a number of opportunities. Obviously, they could visit a recruiting center. GoArmy.com is available, and there's a number of other programs that we have. We do reach out to most of the high schools that we have in the greater Phoenix metro especially. We have, you know, March to Success is a program. We have a career exploration program. Those are both online and free and help tutoring. There's a number of assets and abilities that we've put out there to allow the parent, as you said, or a potential service member to investigate. You can even just Google the Army and see what's there. We've got a number of documentaries out there as well.
Well, Major, you know, on behalf of all the constituents in District 3, want to thank you for your service and thank everyone in the Army and throughout the armed services for all they do. You know, now more than ever, we are so appreciative of what you all do to protect our freedoms, protect our democracy, give us the opportunity to broadcast, you know, what we're saying here on Channel 11 today. So I just want to thank you and thank you for coming to discuss a real interesting topic.
More than happy to come down. Appreciate the invite. And for everyone out there, we hope you have a good day.
Thank you. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode. If you have comments or any questions about today's show or anything else going on at the City of Phoenix, please contact my office, or you can visit my website at phoenix.gov/District3. You can also connect with me on Facebook or Twitter. We'll see you next time on Gateway to Phoenix.